Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 149 of A Double and Dice, and we're back on schedule. Our regular
Mostly.
schedule programming.
Well, we usually record on a Monday and it's a Tuesday.
That is true.
But
It was late. It was late yesterday.
it was the correct week.
Yes, we're back on schedule.
Yes.
But our week's somewhat now baseball's done for me, so my week's pretty much open now, if anything. So
Yeah, your week becomes open and mine has become ridiculously busy because of stupid work job changes. But, that's whatever. We might be doing more of these from hotels in the future, hopefully that have better internet than the time we tried before.
We'll figure it out.
We always do.
We do.
So what's new and exciting, Kim?
Nothing. Back to routine, back to, tiredness.
Yeah, how is the routine going now that you're back to your work schedule?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just tired every day. Now.
If you could sleep a bit more,
I'm more
like
tired.
go to bed early.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed early.
Yes. But you don't.
I try by
Yeah.
11.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Sometimes if I'm really tired, it's 10.
On Sunday, it was 7:15 and I couldn't even keep my head up. I went to bed at 7:30.
Really?
And
slept the whole night?
I slept until 5:30 in the morning.
That's not bad, actually.
No, it's not. I did wake up when it started raining because it rained on Sunday night.
Okay.
So it rained a lot on Sunday and there was a storm and I woke up a little bit for that, but then I went back to sleep. So,
At least you fell back asleep.
I did fall back asleep. Yep. Yeah, the sleeping is decent these days, knock on wood. So, yeah. What's not so great is trying to ship things to the United States.
I wouldn't want to.
Well, we had a raffle over at DM North. We are DM North TV over at Dice Station Zebra, and I shipped out the 3. There was 4 figures I had to ship out. 1 went to the UK, and 3 went to the US. And the 1 went to the UK, no problem. And the 3 US ones, I guess there was something wrong with it because of the new packaging rules, because they've changed all the packaging rules, and they've all been returned to sender. So I have to go to my courier now and figure out what happened. So
Interesting.
yeah, I'm hoping I can get there tomorrow. I tried to go yesterday and today, but it was just too busy. So yeah, it's been challenging with the new rules for shipping things. So I thought I had it all sorted out. I thought I had it all I's dotted and T's crossed. So I don't know what's wrong with it, but we'll find out. So
Fun times in the US, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I'd love it if they could solve all of those things, but this is not a political podcast. This is just me complaining about the new shipping rules. So,
Shipping problems. It's everywhere.
It is. It's not new.
No.
It's the new norm is what it is. So, anyway, but fortunately, our good friend Collector Rob got his prize Heroclix from our Patreon raffle over at Dice Station Zebra, and he was very excited. So
Nice.
He's teaching Harry how to play.
Heroclix, okay.
And on the topic of Heroclix, should we talk about Heroclix en français?
Yeah, go for it. Tell everybody about your adventures.
I went to Heroclix en français. So what that means, if you don't speak French, is I spoke French and played Heroclix, sort of. So I went to France. I mentioned this on the last podcast. Rob was already there. I flew in and I met him and we had a weekend in Paris, and then we went to the south of France. We had a lovely vacation. Have you ever seen flamingos fly, Kim?
No.
It is the
say I have.
most impressive thing ever. So, like, the only places I've ever seen flamingos before are A, the Toronto Zoo, where they're basically
Yeah.
caged, and B, at the Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas, where they are, again, basically caged. Like, they're in a enclosed area. I've never seen flamingos anywhere else. So, the south of France, that we were sort of on the southwest side, I think, west of Marseille, and there is a parc ornithologique, which is basically a bird park. So basically, it's like a marshy, natural area that birds naturally flock to, and they've turned it into like a natural park. And there is a resident flamingo flock. And the later in the year you go, the more flamingos are there because they winter there. So if there's flamingos that have gone like to the northern part of Europe or anything like that, they come down to the southern part and they spend the winter there. So if you go in December, the whole place is flamingos. Anyway, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flamingos there. And because they weren't in captivity, they grow larger and they fly. And it's the most impressive thing ever. I put a video up on my Facebook and my Instagram of them flying like overhead, and it's like the most crazy thing. I also have a cool video of them taking off. I couldn't get the landing video, but it's just really impressive. So anyway, that has nothing to do with Heroclix. It's the thing I did before Heroclix. So we did that. We went to the south of France. The Parc Ornithologique Pont de Gau is what it's called. It was beautiful. If you're ever in the south of France, I highly recommend you go there. It was about 45 minutes south of Nîmes, which is where we based ourselves. And then we drove back up to Briennet, which is where the Heroclix National Championships were being held. Briennet is about a 2-hour high-speed train from Paris. I don't know how long it would take you to drive, maybe 3 or 4 hours. It's pretty central for people that are coming from Europe because it's easily accessed from Paris on the high-speed train. It's just a little suburb of Lyon, and Lyon is the big town. So we got into Briennet on Thursday, and we hung out there Friday. Saturday was the tournament. So Saturday was the qualifier. So how they ran it. So most Heroclix tournaments these days are like open registration. You just register and you play. But how they decided to run it, because they don't have access to a lot of product, and holding this event is one of the ways that they can do sealed events, is they plan for a top 8 on Sunday. And the winner of the previous year gets an automatic entry into the top 8. So you're basically competing for 7 spots. They give 4 spots to the people that win the sealed event, where you open the product from the booster, build a team, and do your best to place highest. And then they give 3 spots to the afternoon qualifier, which is the constructed event. So you make your constructed 300-point modern team, you play it, and the top 3 people in that event get placed in the top 8. And of course, if the person who won the sealed also won the modern competitive, then it passes down to the next person, right?
Okay, that was my next question, but okay.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So there were 7 slots available for the event. So we obviously had to plan what we were taking before we left, because technically, because the top 8 is a separate tournament, and some people qualified with sealed and some people qualified with competitive, you could actually change your team. You could play something different on Sunday than you played on Saturday. However, I was traveling halfway across the world, so I had one team.
Sorry, how many people were in this tournament?
There were 29 people.
Okay.
Which is very impressive. Okay. And it was very multicultural. So there were obviously the French people, which included 5 younger girls that were daughters of other of the men that were playing, like their dads play Heroclix. Okay. And there's 5 girls that play, and they're all like teenagers. Beautiful, lovely, lovely girls. No little boys, just little girls. Then we had people from Italy, people from the United Kingdom. There was a guy from Belgium, and then of course us from Canada. So very multicultural. Okay. They had a sort of the organizer Benoit. He sort of coordinated everything. They had the judge, JD. He does a lot of the judging in Europe, and he just judged the Italian and Spanish nationals, I believe. And he did France, and he's from France. And then they had another person who used to play Heroclix, and they brought him on board to provide translation services. So most of the adults spoke good or good enough English, but for the younger girls, I guess in France, they don't start learning English until they're 12. And some of them were under the age of 12, and some of them were just around the age of 12 and 13. So their English wasn't particularly good. So they had him on staff to help support with the translation. So if one of the English speaking or Italian speaking contenders played against the girls that didn't speak much English, they had translators available so there wouldn't be confusion. So that was really good. It was really well organized. It was held in a community center. It was great space. It was really, really sort of fantastic, very well prepared and all those sorts of things. So on the Saturday morning, we played in the sealed. It was 2 boosters sealed, and they had, you got a booster of Spider-Verse and a booster of Collector's Trove. So I opened my 2 boosters. They were not particularly good boosters. But I did get a 300-point common Thanos in my Collector's Trove booster with another character that had an appropriate keyword for his sideline ability. I can't remember who it was right now. Anyway, so I decided to play that. So I played 300-point Thanos. There were a couple of other 300-point Thanoses as well. We played 3 rounds. I went 3-0 with, it was a 300-point build, so 895 points, because one of my opponent's build was only 295 points, not 300. That put me in second place. So I qualified. The first place player was a gentleman by the name of Tino. He was from the UK. He also played 300-point Thanos. He had a different sideline element than I did. All 3 of his opponents had 300-point teams, so he beat me by 5 points. And then the third place player also played 300-point Thanos. Again, I don't know what the sideline was.
It's all in the booster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a common figure. It's a common event.
It's common.
It's common. It was like set number 7 or something. I can't remember exactly. And then 4th place in the sealed was Rob, and Rob did not have any Thanoses. So he built another team mostly out of Spider-Verse components, out of his Spider-Verse booster, and he managed to battle his way to 4th place with 3 wins and however many points that were necessary, and the 4 of us qualified. So it was Tino, myself, Julian, and Rob that qualified in the morning. And they had 28 players in the sealed. And then in the afternoon, we had 29 players in the competitive. So the first round, yeah, there might have been 30, but I think 29 was what was listed in the event. So, but I don't remember anybody having a bye, so I don't know how that worked. Anyway, so I played first round against one of the Italian players, and he was playing a build very similar to what Rob has been playing with, is the Hadari Yao Colossus build. It's very difficult for my Kong team to get through that team. And of course, in the practice game that I played, or the competitive game against Marco that I played, was no different. So I lost that game. My second round, I got to play Charlotte, and Charlotte is one of the younger girls. She was 10. She had a super fun team. There was another one of the young girls playing a different player that also needed a translator. So the judge had said that he would sit with me. I said, "You're fine. You don't need to sit with me. You're judging this event. Like, you're going to have lots of questions." I looked at Charlotte. I said, "We'll be okay, right?" And I gave her a thumbs up, and she was like, yeah, we're good. We're good. So
Oui.
She was like, "Oui, yeah, c'est bon." And I was like, "C'est bon?" And she's like, "C'est bon." Like, yes, it's good. So anyway, we fumbled through with a little bit of Heroclix language and a little bit of French, and she was saying things like, so she was playing this little figure. It's a shark. His name is Jeff, and he's like the Deadpool Jeff, Deadpool Jeff the shark. Are you familiar with that character? Anyway, I guess he likes pizza. So the Jeff the Shark character makes these pizza tokens. And then characters can pick up the pizza token and then eat it for free, which lets them heal a click. So she'd be like, Jeff faire la pizza, like Jeff makes a pizza. And then it would be Kong le mange la pizza. And I was like, yeah, Kong's eating the pizza. I'm with you, right? Like, it's fun. And she'd click his dial. Anyway, so I wanted her to have a really good time. And she had a fun team. She's not the most advanced player. Like, she plays for fun. So we figured it out. I figured it out pretty quickly so that she wasn't like really super into the competitive part of it. So I helped her with some stuff and I made it so that she won. Because I already qualified. I didn't need to win. I didn't need to beat the 10-year-old girl. Was not necessary. So I didn't let her win, but I helped her win.
Okay.
So that was fun. And then I can't even remember right now who I played against in my third round, but because I was so focused on the second round. And then I played the third round, and sure enough, I did not go high enough to qualify. So the 2 Italians qualified, and I can't remember who the third person was. So it was all of us. Those were the people. So yeah, and then they had a bracket where they had mixed up the people for Sunday, and it was like a sealed person versus a constructed person, and the champion versus this person. So I was paired up against the other Italian in my top 8 match, and it was a similar, again, that Hidari Colossus build that my Kong team doesn't do particularly well against. And sure enough, I lost that round. So I was eliminated because in the top 8, it's single elimination. You lose a game, you're out. So, and the person that I lost to ended up being the ultimate winner. So Stefano from Italy won the French Nationals this year. So, Rob played the last year champion. His name was Steve. He lost to Steve as well. Much closer game than mine. Could have gone either way. But yeah, so it was a really great event, really well organized. And then after Rob and I were eliminated, we played a battle royal and then stuck around to find out who actually won the whole thing, and took a couple pictures and got our prizes. We got to bring home some convention exclusives. Some of them I already had, so I gave them away while we were there to people that didn't have them. And all of the sealed product that I had opened for my battle royal and for my sealed game the day before, I gave that away to local players as well, because they haven't had new product in like 2 years.
Wow.
So
you just can't get it, or
yeah, they just can't get it from the distribution from the UK, from the US to the UK and England. The UK and Europe is really bad. So they've been really struggling. Sometimes they can get stuff from Germany if they pre-order it, but they have to pay like, really high prices and tariffs and things like that. And sometimes, so a lot of the stuff that they're bringing into Europe, they're getting like singles. They're just like buying singles on the secondary market and things like that, which makes it quite expensive. So I was happy to share with them, the little bit of stuff that I had, because again, I already have most of that stuff. But overall, it was a really great event. Pretty well everyone spoke English, aside from the young girls that didn't speak a lot of English. And it was... they were really welcoming. They were super happy to have us there. And I would encourage people to, make that trek, whether it's Heroclix or Lorcana or something else, to head over to Europe and attend one of those events. Because it does seem like the countries are very welcoming to international players. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we went back to, our Airbnb on Sunday night and got ourselves packed up. And then Monday morning, we dropped off our car rental and we took the train back to Paris for one last night in Paris before we flew home, where our flight was delayed 7 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there was a mechanical problem with the plane that was supposed to come. So they tried to fix it. And then I guess when it landed in Toronto, they realized it wasn't good for the next flight to Europe. So they had to bring a different plane in. So they had to change the plane. So it was delayed coming out of Toronto. And we knew that when we got up in the morning. So we got the notice it was being delayed until it was supposed to be like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then we didn't end up taking off until like 7 p.m. Paris time. which is 1:00 here. It's 6 hours time difference.
6 or
So
5? 6.
6. Paris is 6. UK is 5.
Okay.
So we were supposed to land back in Toronto at 20 to 3, and we didn't land until 9:30 p.m. Yeah, 9:30 p.m. So I got home about 10:30 on Tuesday night, and then had to get up on Wednesday morning and go to work. Rob took the whole week off, but I had to get back to work. So yeah, it was a really fun trip. We had a great time. Europe is beautiful. France is beautiful. We had lovely, lovely trip, and there's lots of pictures on my personal Facebook and my personal Instagram. So if you want to take a look at those, you can see them there, including the video of the flamingos flying, which is so awesome. It's like one of my highlights. So
interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've ever. Did I even know flamingos can fly? Probably. I don't even know if I knew.
Probably not.
I don't know.
You probably thought they were like ostriches or something, and they don't fly, right? Because they're kind of similar in shape.
Yeah, because they look bulky, right?
Yeah, but they fly, and it's impressive. Like, I was super impressed. It's almost like, so when they take off, it's almost like they're running on top of the water. When they get themselves sort of up to speed. And so we did that. We did all kinds of stuff. We did, there's all sorts of Roman ruins, like all over Europe, not just in Italy, but in France. So we stayed in Nîmes, which has a Colosseum-like arena, not as big as the Colosseum, but probably better maintained. They still run shows there. So we toured that. We went to a place called Pont de Gare, which is it's a bridge, basically, the Bridge of Guard, and it's a aqueduct. It doesn't work anymore, but they used it for like 500 years. The Romans used it for like 500 years to take water from one place to, actually it went to Nîmes, from Uzès to Nîmes, and we found out when we got there, and I was sort of looking at, what's the deal with Point de Gare, is that you can actually take a guided tour. It's an hour, and you climb all the way to the top of the aqueduct, and you actually get to walk through the aqueduct where the water would have gone, like super high in the sky on this bridge over this little river, and it's just like so impressive. So we did that. It was not expensive. It was like 13 euros or something. It's like $20. No, it was amazing. It was absolutely worth the money to do that and to get the guided tour for the hour. We got some really great pictures. We went to a town called Arles, which also has a lot of Roman architecture there. There was another arena to see there. We went to a town called Orange, like Orange, and they have the Théâtre Antique d'Orange, which is the Antique Theater of Orange. Again, they still run shows there. There's some Roman ruins. There's the ruins of a cathedral, or a chapel or something, and we got to go in that. So yeah, there was all sorts of Romany ruin types of things. And then Paris has tons of things. Like Rob did a whole bunch of stuff before I got there. Like he did the catacombs and, bopped around and did all sorts of stuff. And then, so it was a lot of fun. We had a really great time, and I highly recommend Paris. It's an easy city to get to from Toronto. Like the direct flight's only 8 hours.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. I had a connecting flight through Montreal, just the way I had booked my itinerary. So I had a hour and 20-minute flight to Montreal, and then a 3.5-hour layover. And then that was actually probably the most crazy part of my trip. Not the delay coming home, but going to France. So my flight from Toronto to Montreal was on time, no problem. I had lounge access. I got to the lounge. It was fine. The food was excellent. Drinks were free. Everything was lovely. Went to get on the plane, got settled in on the plane. I had a seat pretty far up at the front. Anyway, before we had even taken off, we got the, "Is there a doctor on the plane?" call.
Oh, gosh.
And I was like, I've never had that before. I travel a lot. I was like, is that real? So anyway, there was a doctor on the plane. I don't know what happened. The doctor went and talked to somebody. He came back, and And then the next thing you know, there's an ambulance on the tarmac. There's an ambulance with a police escort and a security escort driving up to our plane.
Huh.
So
Medical emergency.
There was some kind of medical emergency. I'm glad it happened on the ground before we took off the plane. So they got it all sorted out. So we were slightly delayed. We were delayed like an hour. And then when we left the plane, because again, as I mentioned, I was close to the front and I had a nap and those types of things on the planes. It was a long flight. It's only like 7 hours from Montreal. As we were deplaning, the police were coming on the plane. And I was like, what happened when I was sleeping? Are they arresting somebody? Like,
this when you landed?
When I landed, yeah, the French police were boarding the plane when we were deplaning.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was super weird.
Did somebody get arrested?
I have no idea. I just kept walking. I wasn't sticking around for that. I had to get through passport control and begin my vacances. My vacation. En vacances. So yeah. So that was kind of crazy. It was totally crazy.
What if like somebody comes and like, yeah, I'm a doctor, but I'm like a scientist?
Well, I mean, I don't think that person would accept are you a doctor on the plane, right? So,
but
anyway.
It's funny that there was a doctor on the plane. Like, you think that chances are very low, of happening, but
yeah,
crazy things.
So yeah, so that was my crazy trip. So slight delay on the way there, longer delay on the way back, but overall definitely worth it, and really enjoyed the Heroclix event. Nice.
So where's the next Heroclix event?
Well, hopefully Lantern Legacy is going to come this week. Fingers crossed. It's already available in other parts of the world, but it hasn't come to Canada yet because, again, U.S. shipping problems. So hopefully it's arriving this week, and there'll be some events running for the sealed event for the launch of the new set. Hopefully this weekend. Fingers crossed. But yeah, other than that, like this weekend is actually Heroclix Worlds in Memphis. But we are not going. So.
That's right. Usually happens in September.
Yeah, it usually happens the weekend we were in France. Because usually it happens over Rob's birthday. And Rob's birthday was while we were in France. But this year they pushed it back a couple of weeks. So it starts on Thursday this week. So by the time you hear this episode, everybody will be leaving Memphis to go home and have played their Heroclix. And there'll be a new Heroclix World Champion.
No, this is Worlds. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Worlds.
Is your friends going?
None of the Canadians who usually attend are going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the only Canadian I know that's going is our friend Dan from Ottawa, and he is a dual Canadian-U.S. citizen. So, but none of the Canadians that normally go. Emily, who's on my team, Asia, who's on my team, obviously me and Rob, Devin, Mike, Steve, all of the people who usually go, we're not going this year. So yeah.
Interesting.
There are some international players going. Our friend Edison from Singapore is on his way there. He left yesterday. It's going to take him 37 hours to get there. And I do know that one of the Italians, not one of the Italians that was at Heroclix Nationals in France, but one of the Italians who goes regularly, I believe he is also going. His name's Andrea. And obviously lots of people from the U.S. are going. Yeah. So I don't know about Mexico. I don't know what's happening there this year. So, but I'm sure I will hear more things come Thursday, Friday when people get there and start playing. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I don't know what's next after that.
Christmas.
Yeah, I guess. Regular Thursday Heroclix at the 3D shop. Friday DCC is restarting.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, we've been doing a lot of travel and things, and we had concerts and stuff on Fridays. So, but Dungeon Crawl Classic restarts this weekend, this Friday night. So Kim and I will be with Rob and Dennis and Mike, and we'll be back doing whatever the current adventure is. I have no idea.
I do not remember anything.
I have to look it all up.
Yeah, recap.
That's why I take good notes. So, anyway, that's me. What did you play, Kim?
Board games.
Yay!
Always board games. I played a new game called Vantage. I think were you online when we were playing this?
I don't know. When did you play it?
It would have been a couple weeks ago, I think.
Oh, was that the one you were playing when I was in France?
Maybe.
Yeah, because so France is 6 hours ahead. So I got up in the morning on Sunday, right? Because you play Saturday nights.
Yeah.
So Sunday morning at it was 7 a.m. and you guys were still streaming.
Are you sure about that? That doesn't sound like a very good time difference. That doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, it's 6 hours. So it would have been close to 1 o'clock in the morning for you. It was maybe 6:30 or something, because I saw you went live at 4 a.m. for me or 3 a.m. for me, and then you were still live because that was the one where I was like, I think that you need to take notes. Was that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which we'll get into that.
So yes, I did join that at the
Okay.
tail end when you and Matt were trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, okay. So Vantage is a open world adventure game. So it's not a campaign game. So every game you play is going to be different experience. So it's not like you continue on your adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much you are crashed onto a planet, but you are on different ends of the planet. So I crashed, but Jordo is somewhere else on the planet. So you're pretty much going around the planet and trying to figure it out, I guess. Everything is location based. So you start off in a location, and then on those cards on the location, you have a choice. So like any adventure game, you have a choice to do something.
Mm-hmm.
This game comes with, I want to say 10 different types of books. So depending on your choice of what you choose, so you have action, you do your action, whatever you want to do something on the location you're at, or do you want to do something on your character card? There's different actions that you can take, followed these actions each have what you can do is based on a symbol. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's you can move, you can ask for help. What else do they have? Things like that. So let's say you end up on something on a location. So on a location, you pick what you want to do. So let's say it'll be fight, or it'll be these are just one word things: fight, buy, pet. I'm making things up.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. So you kind of look at it and be like, oh, okay. So you're kind of describing your location to the person you're playing. They can't see your location though.
Okay.
So they're not supposed to see where you're at. So you kind of describe it to them oh, I see this monster looking thing in the background. It has mountains and stuff, and on the location these are things I can do. So you choose what you want to do. So let's say you pick fight, right? Because you see there's a monster, maybe you want to fight it, or maybe you want to just approach it, or maybe you want these are keywords that could be pertaining to that location.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick something and it's color coordinated. So let's say you pick orange, which is, let's say you want to sneak up on it or something. So there's a book for each color or each action that you pick on that card.
Yeah.
So you'll tell your location number. So it's 236. So in case I was playing Jordo, this is co-op, by the way.
Okay.
Jordo will go to that book, look up that number, and will read you a text.
Right.
Okay. And the text will tell you a cost, what you're doing. So if I picked fight or pet or look or whatever,
mm-hmm.
it'll tell you what it is, and then it'll kind of give you a little blurb. That's all.
Right.
That's all he can tell you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then you'll be okay, the cost is 3. Then you have to roll dice. On the dice is a heart,
right?
A turnaround kind of symbol, a negative symbol, a star, a a time. What do you call those things? Like the things you turn around. What do you call those? Like a sand timer thing, like
Right.
that kind of symbol. So you roll these dice, and if you get whatever symbol, a negative means okay, you could put it back in the pool because you share a pool of dice.
Yep.
The turnaround means you can put it back in the pool. A heart means okay, there's a heart, and then let's say there's a star. Okay, so life is heart.
Yep.
I can't remember what the star means, and then time is just time of how long you take to do things. And what you're trying to do is on some of your player cards, you can match the symbol on your player card to one of those symbols because you don't want to end up with a heart at the end because then you lose life like that, right?
Right.
You don't want to end up with a time because you're running out of time, so your time goes down. And I forget what the star means. So then you kind of like figured out, okay, where can I put this? Can my partner put that on their card if it's a shareable thing? If not, then you take the penalty.
Right.
So no matter what happens, you're gonna succeed, but you take the penalties of what you rolled. Okay. So then after that's done, then they'll read you the rest of the story. It could be good, it could be bad.
Right.
Okay. Also in this, you do have a mission, an objective that you're trying to accomplish as pretty much like, I guess, ending or winning the game.
Yep.
And then that's your turn. Then the other person will do the same thing. They get to pick where they want to do. And you come back and you're like, okay, I don't want to do anything else on this location. I got to move. So you're moving, and then you get a new location, and you continue and you continue and you continue.
Right.
If you get life down, or if your time goes down, or the star, which I cannot remember what the star is, goes down, you have an option. You can end the game there.
Right.
Or you get like a last life kind of thing. So when we played it, I think I got down a lot. So what happened with me, and this is not a spoiler, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I got caught in like infinite cave.
Right.
So I kept like dying, but then coming back, and then dying and coming back, and then dying and coming back. So this game could be short, it could be long, it could be very long, depending on how far you want to go. Because again, it's open world. It's you make up your own little adventure, right? So by the time we were able to get a mission, Jordan got a mission, but he couldn't really complete it. But then there were some wordings that we couldn't understand. Like, oh, did we do that? Did we interact with that? Like, does that mean that? So there were some of those questions, and towards the end, we're like, you know what? I died. Let's just end it.
Right.
Because it was going on. It was going on for a while. But getting stuck in the cave thing was trying to get out of that was tough for me. So I couldn't get to any of the missions. He had the mission which he was trying to get to, but then we had some word stuff that we didn't really understand that if we did it or not. But it's really fun. Okay, so Dave played this game. My husband Dave played it, and he really enjoyed it, and he told me about it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, we can pick it up if we find it. So we found it pretty cheap, so I bought it. And then Jordan's like, I have this game. I'm like, oh, that's weird. They played it, and we just kind of like bought it. So that's how we ended up playing it. But yeah, really fun. If you like adventure games, definitely. And it's almost open to your interpretation, I guess.
Right.
So I guess we could interpret it like, yes, we did interact with that, so maybe it did count. But then it's like, there's so many keywords. It's like, what does interact mean in the game, right? What does this mean in the game? And we think we did it, but then we're like, did we do it? So that kind of ended it. But I know Jordan played it solo, and he said it went much better.
Right.
So it depends what you get, I guess, and how you interpret it. But yeah, very fun game, pretty new game. It came out this year. A must-own game. Like if you're playing it on stream, you have to own it because it's just a box of cards, and all of them are numbered. And you got to go through the box to find the number and pull the number out, and then put the other one back in and things like that. Because you could end up back on the same location again.
Yeah, but you were struggling, right? Because you can't do the same action.
That's correct. So you can't, if you get back a location you cannot do the actions on that card. So you are forced to move out of that location. So you couldn't, let's say I picked a fight. I couldn't do fight again on that location if I get it back. And this is where note taking would have come in handy.
Yeah.
So we didn't take any notes, not knowing we needed to take notes. But yes, you do want to take notes with this because you want to know where you've been and what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, this picture looks familiar. I'm pretty sure I've been here before. So note taking probably would have gone a long way.
Did you talk to Dave about that? Because you were saying you were going to ask him about it because he'd played before.
Yeah, I don't know if they took notes, but he said, yeah, I guess, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Then I asked him the other two questions that we had, but he's like, I don't know. So I'm like, okay, let me ask your buddy who's like the big gamer guy. Like, he'll know the answer to this. And he's like, he kind of gave me an answer and almost sounded like it's open to your interpretation kind of thing. But he also said what interact means, because you could be interacting with a location. So, but yeah, he couldn't answer my questions. But again, what's the chances of that coming up again? Probably slim, but just avoid caves. That's all. Just avoid caves. It was a fun experience for me, but getting stuck in trying to get out, that was tough. I did get out, by the way.
Yeah.
But I died a lot too. So that's why it went a long game.
So I went back and checked my notes on timing.
Okay.
So you went live at just before 10 p.m. that night, which would have been 4 a.m. in France.
Oh, okay.
So when I went online around 6:37, it was only like 12:30 for you.
And we were still playing?
Yeah, you were having a conversation and you had made the decision at that point. Like I came in and said hello, and then you had said this is the point where we end the game and we should have taken notes.
Yeah.
And because I had just showered because it was the next morning for me. And I was getting ready for the day, and we were heading over to play in our top 8 game at 9:00, right? So we were up early, and yeah. So anyway, so I was listening to you while I was getting ready after I had showered and everything, was getting ready for the day, getting ready to go play Heroclix. And you guys were like, hey, wish Rob a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Because for you, it was like still his birthday. So
yeah. So it's definitely, because then you can always refer back to your notes. Because technically, I mean, if
notes
you
are never a bad idea.
Yeah, if you watch the video, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it isn't. Like, if you haven't played the game, you will spoil it for yourself because you'll know information.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you want to know the information or not, that's up to you. If it's a spoiler, I don't know if it's really a spoiler, but it's just gathering the information. So if you play again the next time and you come about it, be like, this looks familiar. And you go back to your notes and be like, oh yeah, this is what I did. And this is what happened. So maybe I don't want to do that again because you'll end up in a cave. So
yeah.
But yeah, we found an Excel sheet that we can put our notes in. So
right. Cool.
But yeah, I don't own any adventure really games. So this was interestingly fun. It was fun.
So you would do it again?
Oh yeah, I would do it again for sure. And you can play it solo, so maybe I'll have to try to play it solo.
Cool.
But yeah, Vantage.
Nice. Well, that's cool, and yeah, I was happy to have joined in at the very end of that, and in the future. So it's not the first time. Last time I was in Paris, I woke up in the morning and it was Matt and Nick, Jack Lowe's band. They were still on Discord. They weren't streaming anymore, but they were still on Discord talking last year. So anyway, it was funny. I jumped into the chat. I'm like, hey.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in France. So anyway, it was funny. Because 6 hours ahead for us is 8 hours ahead to Matt.
Yeah, because he's 2 hours behind us. So.
Exactly. So
yeah.
So we did have a small dice bag, Kim.
Yes, very small.
But I think
2 episodes ago.
I think we did finally determine a winner of what mug Kim was drinking out of.
There was a lot of guesses.
There was quite a lot of participation in the guessing of the mug.
Yes, it went
Good
on.
guesses,
and then,
too.
Yeah, people said things, and I'm like, oh, you're kind of along the right track. And then I think once I kind of said that, and they kind of clued in, and then Collector Rob guessed it, that it was a Yoshi mug.
That's right. So congrats, Collector Rob. He's winning things all over the place.
So the picture is in the Discord of the mug. And then Petra showed us his cool mug.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. This is not in the dice bag, but it is some interesting breaking WizKids news.
Oh.
So it appears that WizKids has undergone some sort of restructure.
And where did you see this? On their site?
So I had a bit of a preamble, because you might recall that a few years ago I went to Gen Con, and during that Gen Con session, they had the WizKids fan appreciation event.
Yeah.
And the new CEO, Jake Teese, said that they didn't know what was happening with Dice Masters, and there wouldn't be any news until 2025 or whatever it was. And here we are. We still don't have any news. And basically, they didn't know what to do with Dice Masters. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
That would have been 2023. And I went up to Jake at the end and said, hey, I appreciate your honesty. I'd love to know more about what we can do to help. And the community is very, passionate and all that sort of stuff. He's like, yeah, give me your contact information and I'll get back to you. So I emailed him. He didn't respond. I got a message back from Jimmy. I emailed him again. He didn't respond. I didn't hear anything more from Jimmy. And then I friended him on LinkedIn. And he accepted it.
What was his name?
Jake
Teese. You
Teese.
did. Okay.
Yeah. Friended him on LinkedIn. So I've been seeing all of his updates. And a couple weeks ago, I saw that he was let go from WizKids.
Interesting.
So yesterday, as we record this, he put a post up in the Heroclix players and collectors around the world Facebook group, talking about who he was and what had happened to him and how he had been, surprisingly let go during this restructure, and all of the good things. And he basically, and I don't have any truth to what he said. I have no reason to believe he's lying, right? But he basically said everything good about Heroclix over the past 3 years had to do with him. And he really enjoyed Heroclix, and he's going on to different things and whatever. And I was like, okay, so this is like public now. He went out into the Heroclix community, and all the Heroclix community people like, oh, Jake, it was so nice to meet you at this event, or thank you for what you did for Heroclix, or it sounds like you're an awesome guy. Anyway, and I'm sure he is an awesome guy. He just didn't ever respond to me about Dice Masters. And yeah, I hold a grudge. So anyway, he no longer works for WizKids. It appears he has landed on his feet. He's already picked up a couple of jobs. I'm assuming consulting type roles, but he has a lot of experience in the game industry. So it looks like he'll land on his feet, but because I don't ever wish anyone to lose their job, right? But
so we're never going to hear anything is what we're going on here.
What I'm saying is that we will never hear anything from Jake Teese, because he is no longer with WizKids.
Yep.
So maybe the new CEO, I don't know who it is. Maybe there'll be more information at WizKids Worlds, and I'll hear about it from my Heroclix friends.
Ask them about Dice Masters.
None of the Heroclix people are going to ask about Dice Masters, because they're all like not Dice Masters people. But they might be able to get us information about who the new CEO is, and then maybe we can get some feelers out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because they still answer rules questions.
That's true.
So it's not completely dead.
That's true.
So anyway, so that was my little bit of breaking news segment. I almost feel like we needed like a little beep, 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 beep.
Breaking news. Isn't it like a guy that comes on and says it?
Something like that, news. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if this times well, and maybe I can put it in. We'll see.
Or not. It's fine. So anyway, anything else, Kim?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks so much for recording tonight, and at a time when both of us are extra awake, which is bonus.
Yeah, it's early for us too.
It's early for us. I like this time slot. But yeah, so thanks to you for continuing to listen, and let us know what you'd like to hear on this podcast, because we want to know what you want us to talk about. So you can let us know in all the usual places, which includes sending us an email at tripledpodcast@dm-north.com. You can go to our website, dm-north.com, and leave a comment on our episode post. But the most common place that people talk to us is on Discord. You can join the DM North TV Discord channel, and there is a Double and Dice podcast convo chat in there. You can also at us on Discord. Kim is at SuperK. I am at Jostitch, Joce Stitch. Don't forget to find Kim and Matt streaming board games most Saturday nights and or Sunday mornings if you're in France at twitch.tv/DMNorthTV. And the recordings of those games, as well as our episode recordings and maybe other stuff sometimes, end up on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/DMNorthTV. We're on all the socials at DMNorthTV, and until next time, on a double and dice.